first guests out, they have the future of pop music in their hands, or at the very least, the Christmas #1. It is, from the X Factor, Nicole Scherzinger, Gary Barlow and Dermot OLeary. Sit down. Come on, sit. Come on, sit. Come on, sit down. Wow. Gary, you look fabulous and handsome as always. Dermot, you look as sophisticated. There's your next James Bond right there. But Nicole, that skirt, my God, that's about as tight as a skirt can be, isn't it?
Thank you.
How do you get yourself in and, more importantly, out of something like that?
I wiggle myself in.
Wow. So congratulations, all of you, because the series has been great. Hasn't X Factor been great so far this year? Some real finds, some great funny moments, some kind of really lovely emotional moments as well, of course. You're now onto the live shows. Is that easier? Is that harder? Do you prefer them? Would you rather it be still the kind of early stages? Gary, let's start with you.
Yeah, it's like another show starts, really, when the live shows start. It goes into another gear, and I think it gets more exciting, actually.
OK. Nicole, you like the live performances more?
I like the live performances because, you know, we get to see them perform in the moment with a real audience. But I find myself, like, getting, like, weirded out a little because everybody's so loud, and then I'm speaking, and I'm like, what? Oh, my God, what's going on? And it's crazy. It's chaos, but it's exciting.
And Dermot, you actually get something to do now.
Something.
Yeah, because in the other shows, really, it's basically you hug people and say sorry.
Just a pop music social worker, really. I just sort of go, sorry about that. So, yeah, no, it's great to be actually doing something.
Remember those dreams you had? They've gone. Have a hug instead. OK, so let's talk about the different kind of groups you've got to look after, first of all, and who all your favourites are. Because, of course, Nicole, you have got the boys.
Yes.
OK. Louis has got the groups, I believe. Tulisa has the girls, and you have no chance, because, of course...
That is not true.
But they haven't won since... Is it Series 1 that one of the oldies won? Is that right?
That was a piece of information I didn't know until now, so now I am worried. So that was Steve... is it Brokenstein?
Steve Brokenstein.
Yeah.
It's not Steve Brokenstein.
No.
It's not like a lumbering Frankenstein. It's Brokenstein!
I think this is the thing that historically through this competition, it has been the joke category. But, you know, if you think the over 28s, you look at most of the singers out there, you know, Beyonce, Rihanna, they'd be overs. I just...
Rihanna's not over 28, is she?
Is she not?
No.
Let me redo that.
Well, Nicole, you're 17,
we're
right?
reminded of that when she came
Rihanna's 15, I think.
Sorry, Rihanna. Sorry, Rihanna.
Yeah, she's not.
I'd just squeeze into the overs. I'd just be an over.
You're what, are you 44 or 45 now?
Stop it. 41.
You're 41?
Yeah.
You're not bad for 41. You'd be better for 45. He looks great. He looks great. And I know you have real discipline, and so I know you enjoy working with us for that, but are you a bit of a bully to the others? Does he keep an eye on what you guys are eating?
The strangest thing about what Gary does is we'll sit down and Gary will have his own dinner. But I always say to Gary, and I know sort of what I want for dinner by about 11 o'clock in the morning. I say, oh, I feel like I'm a fish guy now, do you know what I mean? Whereas I always say to Gary, what are you having? And he'll go, I have no idea. As the plate arrives and as he starts to fork it into his mouth, so you have no idea what you're going to eat, do you?
No.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
No, because he's like the Terminator, really. He's focused on no, yes, eat, listen. He's like that. He's like, it's all business with you guys.
He's not so picky about his red wine, though. He likes a little vino collapso.
Any red wine.
Any red wine?
Yeah. Picky with food, not with drink.
So, because you do, clearly, I've seen the shows, you clearly get drunk during the shows sometimes. I think we've all seen it. That's right, isn't it, Nicole?
Yeah, that's on the handle.
He has it in a teacup, doesn't he? Because you see the teeth go a funny colour by the end. It's either wine or Ribena.
You know what? That is actually slightly true. Because, no, I don't drink during the ITV1 show, but as we flip to ITV2, and I realise less people are watching, my tea arrives and it has got red wine in it. Wow.
And this is Jaeger Bob in it for the second show.
Now, let me just talk about some of the other characters, because what we all love about the early stage of the X Factor, I think, we love seeing the new talent arrive. We also see the people who maybe shouldn't be there, who maybe you think maybe their friends would have said to them, what are you thinking? And they're still up there. Do you have a favourite of the kind of the more eccentric?
Are you talking about Jerry Halliwell?
Well, OK, if you want to go that way. Well, you had two mad old ladies. You had Joey and Mel B. They were both kind of...
Well, that was the funny thing this time, because we didn't have a fourth judge at the start of it. Yeah. And so we had a succession of guest judges who came. But it was great fun, because we really did have the crazy to the beautiful. So...
let me ask you about Mel B then, and let me ask you about Jerry. Mel B, a lot of people criticised Mel B and said she was too harsh. She was a little bit too, not dismissive, but maybe a bit too cold. I mean, even when she turned down the old guy who was singing, I don't know if you remember that. And even Dermot, I think you said... What did you say?
She has no heart.
Yeah. No, I think you said, where's her soul, didn't you? That's the old fella who came up when his wife was waiting backstage. And, yeah, sure, he wasn't going to go all the way in the competition, but, you know, it was a lovely moment. And Mel B just...
She's like a Dementor, isn't she? She's got... But, you know, I really enjoyed her on the show.
I did too.
Because I think, especially when there's a guest judge, I think they feel sometimes compelled to say yes to everyone. That's happened a few times, I think, don't they?
Because they're not going to be responsible down the line, I guess, so...
Whereas she just went, I thought it was boring. And then you said to her backstage, did you really... And she go, oh, yeah, like watching paint dry. So she was great, wasn't she, again?
She was great. It actually gave me a holiday for a few days, because it comes down the line, I'm usually the one who gives the bad news, as everyone else is sort of dreaming. It was OK, yeah, we can see the potential in that. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen, mate. But Mel was doing that for me, so I was really enjoying myself. I was going, that was amazing.
I tell you what, this one's tough, and you haven't seen enough of it yet, because on...
Well, show us some more then, Nicole.
There are moments where it's a great moment in the boot camp show when someone said, do you mind me asking why I didn't get through? And she said, because your audition wasn't good. And as they walked off, she went, I'll tell you why. Your pitch was off. I was like, go, me and
for a moment, when you were doing that, I thought I was in Sex and the City for a moment. Dermot, you love the Spice Girls?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean...
You have a favourite?
My favourite always fluctuated from Scary. Do you remember they did that great face cover, you know, the Face magazine, and they had some great pictures on it?
I'm too young to remember.
Oh, we had that when I was at university. We had that sort of up in my wall. So
Oh, you had it up in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Above your bed?
Next to.
And you were holding it up with one hand all that time? Nicole, I forgive him for being so rude.
I think Baby's probably my favourite.
OK, Baby Spice.
I like
Let's talk about, then, Wylam. Because he looks like a very sweet guy. He looks like a very emotional guy. He's a funny guy. Is he, and this is something I heard all you judges say at various times about various people, and you're the one who has to kind of, you know, hug them afterwards, is he emotionally strong enough for what's about to happen?
Yeah, he's emotionally strong enough. What's so great about him is that he's so lovable behind the cameras. Everybody falls in love with him, and he's entertaining to all of us. He's got us laughing and stuff, but then when it's time to work, he has the eye of the tiger in him.
He's got a pretty good voice as well, I think. I mean, I know
he's got a great voice. It's been growing, and he's a performer. And what I was saying earlier was it's not just about singing. We all know that he doesn't want to be the next Whitney. He wants to be a dance pop artist. But he's got his own sparkle and his own shine to him, and the X Factor is having that.
Where are you from, girlfriend? Where are you from in America?
Well, I was born in Hawaii. And then I grew up in Kentucky.
Well, that's you got the southern twang going on right there.
Okay. And I just moved here, so I'm kind of jet lagged, so I kind of sound like
What do you mean you moved in your jet lag? How long does it take you to get over? Like 4 years? It takes like 3 nights.
No, I just moved here like
So you moved here to be with Mr. Hamilton?
Well, he doesn't live in the UK.
OK, so you've moved here to be away from him.
No. But he's...
Pretty permanent.
Unfortunately, everyone's like, oh, you guys are going to be together all the time, but the races and the live shows...
But are you together right now?
Yeah, we're together. He's
How
gonna
long
come
for? Are you going to get married?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Oh, I asked him. He said, ask you. OK. So Simon Cowell, remember him?
Yeah.
He's not here. Is he in touch? Is he keeping an eagle eye on things? Because he's a stickler for attention to detail, isn't he?
He's the overlord, isn't he? You always know he's watching.
What's your relationship like with him? Do you have to do everything he says?
When your phone goes and you see Simon's name, there's always a shudder, isn't there, that goes through? Because invariably it's always 2 a.m. You think, it can't be good news. And then it'll always be, darling, how are you? So
Mine starts with, hello, trouble.
Sounds good. He is tough, but he's a good boss. He's a fair boss.
Okay.
He's honest.
And who kind of is in charge now? I know, Gary, you'd like to think you were running the show.
I don't think that at all.
And I know Nicole, a woman, has a way of getting her way if she wishes. And Dermot, you're kind of now probably got the most screen time. Sure. You could probably steer it. For example, who has the best dressing room? Who has Simon's dressing room? That would be the sign-up.
I have. Did you know that?
Do you?
Yeah.
That's your answer.
Wow.
I have Simon's dressing room.
Does he know?
This is my first year. I was in what we called me and my entourage called the bedsit. I think my makeup artist called the bedsit. But this year, yeah, I just got given, you know,
you got the keys.
golden key.
And you deserve it.
I went in and I checked it out and christened the place, and it's in good shape. Who wouldn't? Come on.
When you say christen the place, a Spice Girl poster wasn't involved, was it, Dermot? OK, so, hey, by the way, Dermot, I should say congratulations. You just got married last month.
Yeah.
How lovely. Look how beautiful with the lovely D right there. Congratulations. How was the ceremony? How was the event itself? How did you enjoy it?
The whole thing was fantastic. It was, you know, it's just a great day, and we went and I was saying to you earlier, we went on honeymoon, and we went to Italy, and we walked into a hotel in Rome. We dumped our bags. We came downstairs to the courtyard, and had the strangest situation where David Moyes, the Everton manager, was sat over there, and Morrissey was sat over there. I'd not met Moyes before, but we sort of looked at each other, and so I thought, I've got to go and say hello now. So I said hello to a really lovely, charming man. And I interviewed Morrissey once before, and it had gone spectacularly badly.
It didn't go well for you, did it?
But I just thought, I've got to go and say hello, because it'd be rude otherwise. And I went over and I said, and I said to Steve, so I'm going to go and speak to Morrissey. Don't come over. So I went over and I said, you know, it's lovely to see you. And he said these words. He went, really? I'm sure you'd say the same thing to Barry Manilow or Gary Barlow. And I said, no, it is. And I said, Morrissey, I'm here on my honeymoon. He goes, oh, it won't last. But then, what turned it around, because he's Morrissey, and you sort of just go, that's beautiful and brilliant. It won't last. These things never do.
Is that true?
Yeah.
OK, let me ask you to do something here. I'm going to ask you to do something here, and this is quite serious. This could be, potentially could be quite serious. I'm going to give you all an envelope within which there is a piece of paper. There's a Sharpie. You would have seen them before. I'm sure, Nicole, you've signed lots of autographs with these. Mm-hmm. It's a Sharpie, Dermot. OK, so... inside there is a blank piece of paper. I want you to write on that piece of paper, and we will open this. We have a Christmas special on this show just before Christmas, and so I will say these and open the Christmas special. I want you to write down who is going to win, who's going to be the Christmas #1 from the X Factor. OK, and you don't have to choose your own acts, because I'm going to keep them safe, so we won't embarrass you, you know. But scribble down now.
And then write our names on here.
Just write your name on.
Yeah.
You don't write your name on.
I'm pretty, yeah.
Don't see it. Oh, don't lick it, you dirty bugger.
Your name on the
Don't
back.
pass all your germs around here. What's wrong with you, Barlow? I'll just pass them over. Nicole, you can lick yours if you want. OK. So Dermot says...
No, don't, because I'm getting so much trouble.
Ah. Why would any of you trust me? Wow. Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's very interesting. 2 of them have gone for the same person.
You can't grass me up, because I'll get...
Why not? What are you going to do about it? Let's have a chat later on about that spare judging seat. Hey, it's so much fun having you all on the show. Thank you so much. But what a great series of the X Factor. I think this is going to be one of the best and one of the most memorable. And I get the feeling that we're going to see a star from this, and, you know, so many great stars come from it. We're going to see a star who's going to be around for a long while.
I agree.
And I think there'll be quite a few, don't you? Because it's not always the ones who come first, of course, who go on to be, you know, have a huge career.
It feels like a big year for talent this year.
You really found some good people there. How great to have you on the show. Thanks for being here. Dermot, ladies and gentlemen, Nicole, and, of course, the magnificent Gary Barlow.